Testimony to get out of that was I decided that I had to pluck myself out of that toxic environment. And I served in the military with the United States Marines. I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. And that didn't help my trauma, but it did help me see the world, and it did help me pay for my education. And it brought me to the Bay Area, and I thought, well, man, everybody in the Bay Area's got it made. They must go out there every single day to Fisherman's Wharf, and they, got all these cool places to go, but people out here struggling. They're 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Everybody out here is just hanging on by a thread. It's no different than the Central Valley. But what helps is when you know where you're from, where your people are from, and that helps you know where you're going to traverse and go forward. My people were indigenous people. My people were the first people to rise up against the Spaniards in Mexico and create the Gran Chichimeca and ride horses and defeat the Spaniards for 40, 50 years. That's something not talked about. My people were the resilient people that work out in the farms, that pick fruit out there in the San Joaquin Valley, that were working with the United Farm Workers, that to this day are still out there working 100+ degree weather out there in the fields of Fireball, of Fresno, Stockton. So, we're resilient people. We're strong indigenous people that don't give up easy. We go through so much, and we always adapt and overcome. So I hooked up with Jose in the hopes of doing things to bring smiles to people's faces, because there is a smile out here in the barrio of Oaklon and San Antonio Park. It's not all like the news hype it up to be about gang shootings and people drug dealing and shooting each other and prostituting. Yeah, that's an issue. That's a communal issue. That's a societal issue, but that's everywhere around the world. We're actually doing something through our actions to unite people and have people come in and talk to each other and break bread and heal from their trauma. So, that's what I do. I work with Jose, and we did this last year, and we're going to keep doing it. And if there's any other organizations out there like the Black Berets, American Indian Movement, the Carnales from Union City, and all these other civil rights organizations that have built up a big credit of stuff that they've done in the past, maybe they can teach something to the newer, younger generation about being resilient, about that there's another way outside of drugs and gangs. That we come from a strong bloodline of people who survived a pandemic that was 525 years ago. A pandemic of taking land from you, taking your mind, enslaving you, mechanizing you, taking your spirit, taking everything from you, physically, mentally. And we're still here. We're still here, and we're still not giving up. And we're beautiful people. We're doing a lot of good things that the news and people don't talk about that we're doing. As men, as women, as elders, as two-spirits, as everybody else. Everybody needs help. It's not just one group needs more help than everybody else. We're all hurting. So here is what resilience and community looks like. Look around. This is what it looks like. The handful of people that you see here feel the calling, feel the need to be here and show community and show that we matter and show that we also are here as a strong group. So we're going to continue doing stuff like this. Like Jose said, we have a tip jar. There's food and stuff that we're selling. We're selling tortas with chips for $10 and drinks, various drinks. But more importantly, we want this to continue. We want to do more for the community, but it requires time and money and a space. Something that's harder and harder nowadays here in California. We have the housing crisis that people don't talk about. We got mass incarceration, police shootings, the deportations. It's gotten a lot more harder. The rents are a lot more expensive, but we'll find a way out of this. And we can only do this through communication, through uniting people. The civil rights movement never died. Yeah, you did have Conan Pro, you did have people introduced to drugs, but we're still here. And that's the biggest thing that should carry us, that solidarity and that empowerment. And we're going to continue moving forward with your guys' support. Jose has some good ideas to unite the community. San Antonio Parque, I know Oakland was talking about making a police station here or some sort of fire department, and we're against that. We're lobbying against that on social media, and we're also bringing the awareness to people. If you don't use the space, you'll lose it. If you don't fight for something, somebody will take it from you. And everybody wants to come to California. Everybody wants to come to the Bay Area. It's a very coveted place that everybody from around the world wishes they could be right here. So if you can't hold it down, somebody